the way it's going isn't getting us where we want to be in the big picture. Hey, Millie Cat.
Hey, Millie Cat.
What are you doing?
She's like, I saw you were out in the garden, and that's my favorite place. It's my favorite time of day. Good evening, beautiful people. It's been a busy couple of days. I hope everybody who celebrated Independence Day had a good, safe 4th of July. I know we did. We had a blast. Literally. Tonight, we figured we were going to do a walk and talk, and we'll kind of update everybody on some of the changes that we're making. So I've seen some comments, people responding to various things that we've said. We have basically just said we're busy. We have a lot going on outside of YouTube. A lot of things that have just really kind of overwhelmed us and kept us busy. And in our discussions, we finally came to the realization that we needed to make some changes, some pretty drastic changes, to basically maintain sanity and kind of liking what we're doing. Basically, some of these changes that we have decided on is we've kind of lightened the load of things that have to be done around here, and we're changing the way we do some things. One of those changes was a pretty big one, and it was kind of a hard decision. We actually got rid of our dairy cow. We got rid of Daisy. We sold her to some acquaintances. Like I said, it was kind of a hard decision. We have talked about it for several months.
Yeah.
We've really kind of almost agonized over it because it was just like, it was such a big deal getting a cow, and it's been so cool having all the milk. And then honestly, like finding out she was an A2 cow, it was a hard decision, but it was this decision we needed to make. One of those things that had to happen.
Yeah.
We've wanted to expand the garden a little bit bigger, and we can't because we need the grass. I would like to point out, we have proven that with about 2 acres of grass, you can do the whole dairy cow thing.
We did it.
We did it. Like
heavy rotation, constant daily rotation.
Doing the intensive rotational grazing, yes, it is possible for a small homestead to have a cow. It was tight. Still have to feed hay during the winter, but I mean, that's a given. I don't know very many people who have figured out how to graze their cow during the winter months,
Yeah.
but there are people who do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer, kind of bad news. I know there's going to be some people who are upset about it, but that's just where we're at.
Part of the reason we decided to, actually finally, I don't want to say pull the trigger because she just went to another house, but get rid of the cow was she was a very low producer. We were getting like a gallon a day, and even in her peak, we were getting maybe 2. And it was one of those things where we were basically just getting enough to drink. And I was still buying cheese, I was still buying butter. It didn't balance out the way we had wanted it to, so we're not done with cows forever.
Yeah, we're not done with cows. We're done for right now.
Yeah, it wasn't the cow itself that we didn't want. We just realized that the things we want to do and what we were putting in and getting out weren't in balance. And so it was just like, you know what? We need to make this decision, and we will find a better producing cow.
Yeah.
Later when we're in a better place for it.
Yeah. One of the things that actually convinced us into getting a dairy cow was the Doughertys. And the homestead basically being fed by the family milk cow. All of that is dependent on the production of the cow, and Daisy was a very low producer. And so while she had a great personality and she was very gentle, great starter cow,
very gentle,
the production was what we needed. So I've actually talked about this with a couple people, and it was like, it's not like it was a bad bad experience. It was just a case of like, we need to kind of clear our plate a little bit, and, you know, looking at what we're spending our time on and how we're spending our time. It's kind of weird. It was kind of weird doing chores this morning, and after I'm done feeding all the animals, that was it. Chores were done.
Right.
There wasn't the hour with the milk cow.
Right. And moving her. I mean, we still move Biscuit, but
it's a lot easier to move a steer that is just going to eat grass,
right,
than it is to move
like
the stanchion and all of the stuff that goes with the cow and all that.
Right.
So.
Bye. Where are you going?
I think he likes the tall grass.
He does. He feels like a tiger.
He's a jungle kitty. I'm actually glad we aren't completely out of cows just yet, because we are in the peak of grass season right now.
We are.
And walking through all this grass, it's like, glad there's still somebody who can eat it.
Yeah.
Like we said, we will probably do another dairy cow later. I think the main thing for us is, while we were discussing and planning and scheming, we need more grass. Yes, you can do it with 2 acres of grass. Mind you, we don't have any spots on this property that we could like set up a pen and, you know, do more conventional grazing. The way we've done our cow has been completely unconventional, and it's worked. It's worked great.
Yes.
The level of improvement that we have seen on our property as we've rotated the cow through, followed by the chickens, it has been incredible. Honestly, it looks like I've set up a fertilizer regimen.
Yeah.
Just in the year, almost 2 years, October would be 2 years, we've seen an incredible increase in the quality of pasture, which has been really cool.
Yeah, it has.
We have, you know, grass in places we've never had grass before. Actually, we should walk out there to that spot that we tore up with the cow.
Yeah.
Let's walk out there.
Okay.
So we actually do have the footage of what this looked like when I seeded it, dragged the drag around and spread manure and hay. Here's what it looks like now. So it's recovered quite nicely. Cow was not here. This is pretty thin. Right there, that line from there down. All the way down. We have never had grass here. Now we have grass, we have clover. There have actually been cover crop things that I planted that have already come up and done their thing. Like here's a radish that has went to seed and is almost done. I'll just let that go back to the ground. But yeah, this grass right here, we've never had grass like this. I mean, there's still a few places that are kind of thin, but
even the parts that are thin, the grass never got that tall.
No.
And it's so much taller now. It's improved so much.
So all down here, you can see where there's like a tall line. That was the edge of what I have overseeded. Actually, that lighter green right there, that was where the hay bale was, where we fed the cow. And then again, there was one right here. You can see exactly where the hay bale was right there. So it's what we did with the cow here even improved everything immensely.
Yeah.
We're pretty happy. We know what we did actually worked. We know that we saw an improvement. So we're happy. I don't feel like we're marking anything off as a failure. It's actually kind of a mission accomplished. Like I said, it was time for a change. It was time to
reevaluate.
Yeah, reevaluate and take a break. One of the things that kept coming up was losing my mornings to dealing with a cow, especially in the heat of summer. I would like to be able to get out here and work on, you know, garden stuff like that. And I'm dealing with a cow, and then by the time we're done with the cow and breakfast and all that, it's too hot. We're reclaiming some of our time, and it's pretty nice.
So while it was a hard decision, and I am gonna miss her, she was She was great. Like, I really enjoyed having her. It was just important for us, and so I wanted to encourage other people who might be needing to make changes, like huge changes or big changes, to just be like, sometimes you just need to wipe the slate clean and kind of start over a little bit, and that's kind of what we're doing here. We just had to reprioritize and kind of look at everything and go, you know what? The way it's going isn't getting us where we want to be in the big picture at the moment. So things needed to change. There's still a lot of things we want to do here that we're gonna have to tear up some grass to do. So
well, it's like where we're standing right now. We eventually would like to build a wallapini, a underground greenhouse.
yeah,
And the main hang up is we can't spare the grass in the current system. And I know there's going to be people that say, well, why don't you just buy some more land? We've looked, and land is expensive, especially like grazable pasture land.
right.
The land that is available is usually, you know, at an angle like that.
Yeah.
Finding good pasture around here that we could actually afford is near impossible.
Really difficult, and just not at a place we're at right now.
Yeah.
So
you know, like we did with this place, we did not go into debt to buy this place, and we're not going to go into debt to buy some grass just so we can keep a cow.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
We have access to really good milk here. Like, there's quite a few farms that we can get milk from. We're just going to go back to what we were buying from previously, or some other farms around here, so we can get good milk. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said earlier, the balance for how much milk we were getting for the amount of work we were putting in, it just seemed really off.
It didn't make sense.
Right.
So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, whenever you guys are watching this. We actually got to take an evening walk.
We did, yeah.
Haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to do it for us for today, and we will catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Daisy, she got a muffin.
Daisy, I brought you a muffin.
Snacks, treats.
Do you want this? Hey, do you want this muffin? Do you want this muffin? Yeah, that muffin. You're welcome. That's all I got.